question. Are the protests by the Gen Zs something new in the Kenyan context? And this has forced me to think of how in the past the Kenyan people have resisted oppression. They have said no to bad governance. How did they go about it? And what were the issues involved? And I'm looking at the colonial time, issues that caused the people to resist the colonial government were land issues. The colonial government had taken big chunks of land, and we have land issues even as we speak now. There was control of movement. Passbooks had been given, and now we have seen the government put in barbed wires and stuff like that. And this issue has made me look back at what happened when my grandfather joined the resistance, the Mau Mau, to fight for independence. What were the issues that they were fighting for, and what are our issues? We might think the issues have changed, but the truth is the issues are the same. There was issues of land. The colonial government had taken big chunks of land and pushed the Kikuyus and the other communities out. And so the fight for independence and the fight and the resistance was around land issues. Even today, as we talk about the current government, there are issues of land. People in government taking big chunks of land for themselves using taxpayers' money. Restriction of movement. During Mau Mau time, colonial times, there was restriction of movement. Passbooks were introduced. Now there are no passbooks, but we have a very heavy security presence. Especially during the protest, we saw how the roads were blocked and there was restricted movement. Similar issue like what happened during the colonial time. Then we have issues of forced labor during colonial times and high taxation. This is what our grandparents were fighting against. Now we have no labor. Opposite forced labor, now we have no labor and we have high taxation. Then there was the issue of tribal exclusion from power. They were ruling without including the Kenyans in government. Now we have an issue because we see that the current government is appointing members of one particular tribe in all key positions. Either the top position or the deputy is from one tribe. Does that mean there are no capable people from the other communities? Exclusion. So we might think that the protests that are happening now are new to the Kenyan soil, but they are not new in many ways because these are issues that were there during colonial times. And when we got in single party constitution, it continued to entrench that kind of thinking. Although now we did not have the colonizers, the British, we now got the elite doing the very things that we fought against when fighting for independence. And even those who have claimed to be representing the masses doing the very same things that we were fighting against. When the Saba Saba happened many years ago, those were the things we were fighting as we introduced the multi-party politics. And particularly 2010 Constitution is there to safeguard against such abuses. But we find ourselves still in the same challenge that we faced when we were fighting for independence. In what ways did they resist the colonial government? So that we also compare with now. There was armed resistance, which is the Mau Mau. They resisted with arms. I'm hoping we don't go there because it's provocation, particularly to the Kikuyu community. There is some careless utterances by one community to the Kikuyu, and it can lead to armed response, which is not good. We had the rise of political parties like KAU and KANU. And I'm hoping that the current protests can lead to some meaningful engagement that can translate to change in our country. There was also mass disobedience during that time. As we can see now, the protests now, they are following suit with what happened before we got our independence. And then we had sacrifice and martyrdom. We have lost Albert Ojwang. Now we have a young lady, Nyanyuki, who has died. So the two things that are remaining, which is one is formation of political movements and armed resistance. And I'm hoping we don't go the armed resistance way. The results and the outcomes of that was Kenya getting independence. So whenever the people are oppressed and they are not listened to, the resistance can grow. Now, resistance is not just physical, it has gone online. We have, and it's a tribeless resistance. You should watch the other videos, that we should not use the old script when we already have a new one. We already have the 2010 Constitution, which says the people of Kenya are sovereign. It enshrines human rights. Unfortunately, the government, because a lot of these people in government they were mentored under the single party and were mentored by those who led with that autocratic mentality, that is what they are trying to apply now. Cracking down on protesters the way President Moi would crack down on university students and stuff like that. It shall not work. It shall not work. It shall not work. What we need in Kenya is a different approach. God bless you and thank you for watching. Simon Kariuki coming to you from Melbourne, Australia. Bye.